He's doing exactly what he was put on this earth to do. Come off the bench and make an impact. McTomaldinho.
I've always thought that Arsenal's got a team capable of winning the league, which is why I've made that prediction. But if we had a striker, it'd be a no contest.
You see that the City benches, or the City in general, it's a cheat code because
It's crazy, isn't it?
how can you bring KDB off the bench?
They say like players shouldn't dive, yeah, but and from the flip side on that coin is we've seen evidence that when they don't dive, when it's a clear foul, they don't give it.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whatever time you're listening, welcome back to another episode of Podcast Pundits. I am your host today, De La Strada, the free agent. As usual, I'm joined by my fellow pundits, starting from my right this time, Dre.
Yeah, Dre, man, avid Man United fan. Good to be back in the seat. Good to be here with my boys. So, yeah, it was a happy weekend for me. So, yeah, I don't mind being here right now.
Yeah, next up, Jeezy.
Marley Marl here, Man United supporter. Can say that confidently. Once again, see how that just rolled off my tongue. Yeah, happy to be here. How's everyone doing?
All good?
All good, all good.
All good. Next up, Jerry.
Yo, it's your boy, England's #1 supporter, Brian Gareth Southgate. 3 letters on the shirt. What's happening, man? Good to be here, man. Liverpool supporter too.
Joey, what happened, man? You went international last week.
No, I just saw the lineups for the next England section. Not feeling too great about it, but you know, we have to support the voice, don't we?
Fair enough.
There's another person that's meant to be on the podcast, or as of now, we don't know where this guy is, so I'll kick off with that.
He may make the end of it, to be honest.
Crystal Palace are currently playing, so finding parking in this area is a bit mad. So
you just disclosed where we're recording.
How are they going to find us?
Yeah.
How are they going to find us, bro? Like Pirate Radio be.
Listeners, continue to like and share the podcast with a friend, with an uncle, with an auntie, even with your grandmother. You can interact with us on social media, so that's all major platforms, TikTok, Instagram, X, and you can watch us on a blank screen on YouTube. So let's start the podcast. We're going to start with the last game that was shown yesterday. So that was United 2, Villa 1.
Yes, sir.
So I think, so I think in the last 4 games, you've got 3 wins, 1 draw. So you're getting the results, but let's talk about the performances. Do they match? Are you happy with them?
Yeah, I mean, this morning I kind of put into context around the result and the performance on the day. We didn't particularly play great, but it's important to remember that Aston Villa were in the title race a month ago. So with that considered, it was a fantastic result for Man United to come out with a win.
I'm not just talking about the last one. I'm talking about your run of games. You've been getting the results, but have the performances? How have they been? Yeah,
they've been iffy. But they've been iffy for a while now. Now I think we go through these periods where the results the performances look iffy, but we've managed to get results, and maybe that's just the way 10 is trying to operate. A lot of positives from the game for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah. So I mean, it's not all doom and gloom. Again, the performance weren't great, but we had a lot of chances within the game as well. Onana played decent.
Made 4 crucial ones, actually.
Yeah. He played
two from Ollie Watkins.
He played decent. I give credit where it's due. He actually pulled off some decent saves in that.
Is that one of the positives?
Yeah. One of the positives, for sure. Haaland as well. He's starting to hit a bit of form. He's
5 goals in 5 goals in a row now.
Yeah. And I think 3 assists as well. So he's looking good. He's kicked on. He's not wrestling the defenders anymore, which is fantastic. And as a Man United fan, that's all you can really hope for. I mean, the signs were looking good with regards to what his performances early in his Man United career. My gripe, because if you listen back to the podcast, I've had a couple of gripes with him. As his form's turned, he's not doing a lot of the things that I identified as being issues, like wrestling defenders. Yeah, man, he's good things.
He'll do well, I think. And Aston Villa, because they lost to Chelsea, I was actually expecting it to be a much harder game than it probably would have been, because like a bounce back. And they actually played all right, but they missed a lot of their chances as well. Yeah. We got to put that into context, because if they put some of them chances away, we might have struggled.
So obviously you've mentioned about the performances are more or less being the same, but obviously now the results are different. So do you feel like it's only a matter of time that you may revert back to those games whereby it's close, but you don't get the last minute goal for McTominay or Maino coming up and saving you.
Sure. But I think with anything, football's a confidence game. So as they go from one game to another, gives them a bit of confidence there. And the manager's probably saying to them, don't give up. You can score anytime. You've done it 2 games on a trot now. Yeah. But he's probably telling them, let's put these games probably to bed a lot earlier. Let's not, dwell on our chances that we missed. Just we need to keep it going in terms of for how we play ball with the other teams. We need to just go at them, score the goals, and then but also I think Maguire had an alright game, to be honest.
I mean credit where it's due. There was a few performances from a few guys that, I say a few, Maguire's one of them. I think Varane is lost it.
You think?
Yeah, I think he's lost it.
Lost it.
Yeah, sorry. When I say lost it, I thought he's very replaceable. Maguire was actually the better centre half in that game. I think Varane's obviously, he's got the intelligence of a fantastic defender, so he knows the right things to do. But I don't think his body just doesn't look like his. I don't know, it doesn't look durable anymore. Let's just say that. There was one time there was a sprint on with him and Watkins, and it looked like he was gonna run into the ground. He looked.
But it almost looks like he's stuck in a certain gear, though, if you know what I mean. It's not like...
It's a coasting gear. He doesn't... Yeah.
It's not like he's unfit and he's out of condition. It's almost just I think he can be I can still cruise. I've got enough...
Yeah.
I've got enough pitch on my side in terms of he's got a little bit more leverage over their striker in terms of he's closer to the ball.
Yeah.
So he's I got time, but this is the Premier League. It's going to catch up fast if you don't.
Yeah, it seems to have caught up with him already. To be fair, but more positives than negatives in the game. Anyway, I'm just being picky. Effectively, another solid performance by the real star boy, man like Kobe Mainu.
Definitely.
He's good in it. He's good in it, Della. What do you think?
I think I said it in previous podcasts. He's got everything.
Just wanted to have him on wax for saying that.
No, I've said that before.
Just in case he falls off in a year's time.
He's got the right temperament for someone. Even when I said it last week, when he scored and his celebration, it just shows that I'm comfortable with it.
Yeah, he's calm.
He wasn't when someone just scores their first goal, first scene of goal, his celebration was I'm here. And is he quite tall?
He's tall, yeah. He's surprisingly tall.
Exceptionally tall.
Yeah, surprisingly tall. I think he was standing next to. I think it was Haaland he was standing next to in the last game, and I was like, oh, right, he's actually a big boy.
No, I saw him standing in the Wolves game after that game when he scored. He was standing next to Bruno. And Bruno was talking about it. I was like, Bruno's really small. This guy's really big.
Yeah,
Bruno isn't big at all, but he's not short.
Yeah, for 18, remember he's 18 years old as well. But yeah,
you think he had a good game yesterday? Obviously, he had a good game.
Brilliant game.
What about his game yesterday made it so good?
I just think. He's already looked comfortable. He's already looked composed in the previous games that he's played. His vision, his as you said, his temperament is fantastic. He seems to, when he's on the ball, I think the best midfielders always look like they've got space. And whenever he picks the ball up, he seems like he's got space. And when he doesn't, when he's being closed quickly, he's still mad composed. What I saw on the weekend, that it looks like his confidence is growing. Man was doing Travellas his Modrics all game. I was like, oh,
and he breaks up their play quite well. There was a time in the game I think we was under quite a lot of pressure. And he was still breaking things up, and I'm thinking for an 18-year-old to kind of keep his cool and still do his thing, he's on the right path.
What do you lot think about him defensively, or what you've seen so far? Because I think he can cut the passing lanes and he can make tackles as well.
I think that's his game. He's not really necessarily a bruiser, so I wouldn't even call him I don't see him as a DM like a combative DM. He's someone that. He sits into space. He's got the intelligence to sit into space and anticipate where the danger is. Similar to how I play pro clubs. When you're playing pro clubs and you see how I'm playing.
Because I was saying that because obviously there was those dangerous passes that were put through to Watkins. I think one was to Jacob Ramsey. I didn't see him around there, but so I'm just thinking is he one of those players that sits deep, or is he tasked with winning the ball?
I think he just cuts the pass.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he's like
I'm trying to ascertain what kind of like DM or number 6 he is. If
he's like
that's what he even is,
almost like a tempo setter. Like he just keeps keeps the game. Not really a dictator. Just keeps the game flowing, like nice and simple. Like he's reliable in midfield. Yeah, man, good player. Yeah.
Let's just go back to the game quickly. So obviously you went 1-0 up. I wouldn't say them backs against the wall afterwards, but I think Villa had a lot of chances, as you said. Then Luiz finally scored. He's not so finally scored. He scored. And did you guys see his celebration?
Yeah.
What was that celebration about?
I didn't understand
was he goading someone, or was he celebrating?
It looked like he was doing it to Onana, didn't it?
Yeah.
I think it's probably maybe they just said something to each other.
Yeah. Yeah, it looked like he was doing something like that. But for me, I don't mind stuff like that.
I don't mind. I'm just thinking. I wanted to know what the celebration was about.
Yeah.
I think it was Varane that was pissed about it or something.
Varane, when we scored, Varane, I think he went to go pick up the ball, Luiz, and then Varane walked up to him and he was basically saying something to him when it was 2-1. So it was obviously saying probably have some of that type of stuff. But yeah, no, I'm not mad at it, man. I'm actually not mad at it, and it seems like he's not really. I think he tweeted someone tweeted him.
Rio.
Yeah, was it Rio?
Yeah.
Tweeted him and was basically basically laughed at Luiz, and he was like, "Oh no, there was nothing to it. It's carnival in Brazil, so it was like an ode to that basically." But yeah, man, I'm all for that, man. It makes the game spicier, man.
Yeah, 100. But speaking of carnival, one Caribbean that was lighting up the place was Leon Bailey.
Baller.
And were you guys surprised when he got taken off?
No, because he generally does get taken off quite often.
I think he was cooking, guys.
I think
you don't take off your player that's producing though.
Yeah, I think with him he gets tired quick. It's like him and Diaby. Yeah, they rarely finish the 90 minutes. So from what I've seen as well, like Bay, I always say his name right. Bailey. Yeah, he around the 70th minute mark. He's usually off the pitch.
Right.
But yeah, he had a good game. It's a nightmare for fullbacks, isn't he?
Yeah, and Lindelof was playing there.
Yeah.
But then your main man comes off the bench and does what he does best.
McTomaldinho
scores the winning goal. So saying here, he's got 7 goals, and those 7 goals, he's basically got United 12 points from his goals.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, don't spend too much on him, but like, what would you want from McTominay? Would you prefer him to start or just to maintain his position?
He's doing exactly what he was put in this earth to do. Come off the bench and make an impact. He's not a starter, respectfully. Like he's doing his, and I don't know if he's not a starter because in the position that he would gain the most value, there's better players to fill in that position. Because I feel like the way he's scoring now, he's like, don't put him in with defensive responsibility. Just tell him to go on the pitch and figure something out. Like, and that's that kind of free role is almost what Bruno is almost on the pitch to do. Like, he finds the passes and, well, to be fair, he finds the passes. He doesn't really score that much at the minute, but he can do. McTominay is the best coming off the bench, I'd say, because like I think Ten even alluded to it. Like, he's got the right attitude in terms of like he knows he's obviously not starting, but he's coming on the pitch. With the best intentions, still at heart type thing. So yeah, best position for him on the bench, coming off late sub.
So any sort of playing like the Fellaini role, whereby when you need a goal, you just say you just go up top, because he went up top yesterday.
Yeah,
right?
But I don't know if he's instructed to go up top or whether or not
he must be. He can't just say I'm going there by myself.
He does it, bro.
And your manager allows him to just go up there.
I don't know if the manager allows it, but that's
scores. I think they kind of allow.
So the manager must put him there.
No, it's 100% Fellaini. It's 100% Fellaini.
Fellaini. I would have said Lampard, but is that giving too much high praise?
Come on.
Is that too much high praise?
Yeah. On that note, let's move away from United. Move over to the blue part of United, which is City. So City ran out 2-0 winners against Everton. We don't have to spend too much time on it, but did anyone watch the game, see the goals?
Yeah, saw the highlights.
So did you watch the game, Joey?
Yeah.
So what did you think of, were you surprised at the way Everton approached the game in terms of, in the beginning, I felt like they were a bit more, I expected them to sit back a lot more, but they seemed to be pressing.
No, so probably about 2 days before that, I was talking to Don, shout out Don, and I was saying, and Matty as well, and I was saying, like, basically, every once in a while, Everton go at Man City. I think the last time I was talking about with them was when Tom Davies, who plays for Burnley now, scored the winning goal.
Oh, is he at Burnley?
Yeah, he's at Burnley now. No, sorry, Sheffield United, and he shaved his head.
Okay.
Yeah. So he scored the winning goal against Man City, and then I think they drew last season as well. So every once in a while, Everton has the ability to kind of go at Man City and kind of like slow them down. And I thought that's what was going to be at least up into the 80th minute, but then they ended up getting blasted still.
But that goal that City scored, I wouldn't say it came against the run of play, but did you see that coming? Because Everton, they were holding out, obviously reading you can't hold that for 90 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
So it was going to come at some point.
Yeah, so I didn't expect it to happen at the time because I thought Everton were playing pretty well. I think they were defending really well. Obviously, they just didn't have an outlet. But I knew at any time, I think KDB came on as well, but I knew at any time a goal was coming. No matter who it was, he could have even been Kyle Walker at some point, a goal on the horizon.
But you see that the City benches, or the City in general, it's a cheat code because...
It's crazy, isn't it?
How can you bring KDB off the bench?
It's mad.
You don't start Kyle Walker.
Crazy.
You don't start Bernardo Silva.
But it's funny you call it a cheat code because I think some people literally think it is a cheat code.
Yeah, okay.
And I think that there's some people are called the Premier League who are investigating them for 150 charges.
Do you know what? When I was looking at their bench, I was Man City, so the best teams, like consider them like a old school 90s 2000 album where you've got like you got 14 tracks, on the album you've got like 7 that are bangers and you've got 7 that are just fillers. Like I think the best teams like have the best fillers in their team, like inexpensive players that are coming in to do a job but they're live. Ake, Akanji, Nunes. Like if you got to have the stars, you got to have the KDBs, you got to have the Haalands, but then you've also got to have the Akes and the.
But Kovacic was a star at Chelsea. Yeah. And they've made him into a track filler. But he's good. He's a good track filler.
That's it. But wouldn't you say, technically, even though they've got all the money, in terms of how they've built this squad, it's not as if they just bought stars.
Yeah. No, but there's like also
Ake,
like
all the players, as you mentioned.
In like FIFA or Ultimate Team, they call it squad building, innit? But there's certain people that but if you get this person in your team, it's going to fuck up the balance.
Yeah.
So you got to get the right kind of profile. And I think they're very good, especially the City group, especially at selecting the right player for the right fit with the right mentality.
Yeah,
because I think if we go back to it, that's a perfect example. Man United have a starting 11, City a starting 11 and a backup 11, if that makes sense. And that's where I feel like you can win the Prem.
Yeah, the best teams have that balance for absolute sure. I mean, United for a long time haven't had that balance. Exactly. That's where we would struggle. Even Liverpool to a certain degree. Well, not even a certain degree. They've got that balance. City obviously clearly do. Arsenal do as well. Obviously, you add guys like Declan Rice, who I wouldn't even say.
Well, he's quite a neutral player, so it doesn't really upset any team he went to. He wouldn't really upset. To be fair.
But speaking of Declan Rice, we will come to Arsenal. But do you think he would have fitted in at this City team?
Oh, 100%.
How often would he be playing?
He wouldn't be playing because Rodri, and I think you got Bernardo Silva who can kind of do stuff. To be fair, I think yes.
Well, he'll play regularly
because Matthias Nunes is getting some minutes. Kovacic is getting some minutes. I don't know how regularly he'll play, but I think he'll probably get more minutes than those guys.
So you think he'll be playing as an 8?
I think he'll be playing as an 8. Yeah.
Who's City's starting midfield when everyone's fit?
So I think
KDB,
KDB and Silva. But when KDB's been out, it's been Rodri, Silva,
Alvarez.
Alvarez. No, but then Haaland's been injured. It's where this team's.
Yeah. So Alvarez is doubled up as the striker or whatever. But yeah, it's weird as well because there's just loads of players. But even Bernardo Silva, who's one of the top billing players, bro, sometimes Pep's going to put him out wide.
I'm saying in and out of the team. Bro.
Yeah. So like
Doku, Grealish,
nasty stuff, man. Nasty stuff.
Obviously, Haaland He's now backed, scored a brace. So
a clean brace as well.
R.I.P. Branthwaite, man. He was playing so well, man, but he just tangled his legs up, bro.
I think he panicked a bit.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, this is it. It's head to head. This is my time to shine.
Yeah.
And he just tripped to the first hurdle, bro.
Man United links that guy. I can't lie.
Nah, he's good.
I know he's good, but when I saw that, I was like, nah, man, we need a Haaland killer, bro.
No. You need a Haaland maker. You need a Haaland taker. You need a Haaland killer, bro.
And that was like 73, 74 days without a goal, and then he got 2. He's back. He'll be back, man.
Yeah. Yeah, so let's move on away from City. So, Joe, I'll stay on you. You're currently the leaders of the Prem right now. You're currently the leaders. What was it, a 3-1 victory against Burnley? Yeah, it was 3-1.
Yep.
But do you think that scoreline flattered you?
I don't think it flattered us in terms of like the goals we scored. I think we should have gotten those goals. And again, Burnley, as good as they were going forward, they're not clinical enough.
I agree.
So, like when you come up against our defense, especially with Kevin Kelleher playing instead of Alisson, there's always an opportunity to get a goal. I think that's in all the games he's played this season. I think he's only had 1 clean sheet against Fulham. So, was that even a clean sheet? I'm not even too sure. But yeah, essentially, you always expect a goal, man. But Burnley did play well. Their attack was potent. But it's been like that this season where they've attacked very well. But when it comes to it, they haven't really got the killer instinct, or they haven't got the person that can deliver that final ball. There's a good goal from the corner as well.
So I can't remember. I think it was you scored your first goal, then your second goal. Who was it scored by? Nunes. It was scored by Diaz, I think.
No, it wasn't. Bro, I was literally just watching it. It was Diaz in it, and they thought it was offside. Yeah.
So leading up to that goal, so there was 2 things there. So the first thing was the challenge on the Burnley player. I think where he's someone kicked his shin.
Yeah.
So do you think that should have been a foul?
So it's a tough one because I think yes, it's a foul because you've wrapped your foot across his shin. What's difficult for the referee is that the player hasn't made anything of it. It just continued as normal. He hasn't gone down. So VAR, is their job to go in and check a foul. It's a foul based on the fact that he's made contact with the player, but that contact hasn't really like impeded him or stopped him from doing anything. So I can see why they haven't given it, but I think it's a poor decision to not give a foul for that.
You think so? Is that what you think as well, Jay?
Yeah, I thought it was, I think with VAR now, I think they need to just be clinical. The guy didn't get any of the ball. He didn't get any of the ball. He got the player, so it's a foul.
So do you think that's probably why players sometimes they're a bit theatrical? They'll just fall to the floor?
I agree. Yeah,
because if you don't fall,
if you don't make a meal of it, it's almost like okay, you got touched, but
So,
but you don't remember that conversation we had about Jota against Fulham when he went down for the penalty and could have scored or whatever. Like, I personally, I think if there's contact, you need to show the ref there's contact there, whether it's there or not.
Yeah.
I think if you exaggerate your fall or you do what people call diving after there's been contact, I don't think it can be considered as a dive because there's contact and nobody can tell you how to receive that contact or how to fall over.
But would you say if VAR like done what it's supposed to do and like penalize players for challenges, there'll be less dives because players will be like, hey ref, you see I got kicked. So instead of me falling on the floor, just pull it.
But
that's why players are technically diving.
I agree with you.
You're not going to pull it back.
But what is the actual issue? Is the issue the diving or is it... So I'm not talking about diving when there's no contact. Like, is the issue exaggerating the fall or is the issue that the referees aren't penalising the contact? And then sometimes, like as you rightly said before in the past, not all contact is necessarily a foul. Yeah. Even though I think that was like a painful whack on the shins or whatever, the guy's got shin pads. He's not made a meal out of it and he's not acted, and he hasn't stopped him from doing anything in terms of like winning the ball or clearing the ball. So I can understand why the referees haven't given a foul for it.
Now, for me, I think it's I just like football to be a bit tougher. Because I think that for me personally, that kick on the shin is not really a foul.
Bro, you're wearing shin pads. You're wearing shin pads, by the way.
In your world, let's just say you can redo the rules. You wouldn't give that as a penny.
No, that wasn't a penalty.
You mean a foul?
A free kick. Yeah.
I probably need to say again. I think when I saw it, I don't know. I think he just kicked his shin, right?
Bro, the brother didn't even blink.
Oh, and then that's when McAllister was fending the floor.
Yeah.
That's why it's a foul.
No,
bro.
No.
That's what I was saying.
We're not saying that.
We're not.
I'm just saying So we're saying basically the ref probably didn't look at it because the person that got kicked didn't fall to the floor.
Oh yeah, no,
But
100%.
VAR
That's what I'm
said
saying.
so
Yeah.
this
If
is-
VAR
yeah.
has done what it's supposed to, if referees done what they're supposed to do, players wouldn't be falling over the floor.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. That's where their issue is, because they say like players shouldn't dive, but and from the flip side on that coin is we've seen evidence that when they don't dive, when it's a clear foul, they don't give it.
Yeah.
Like, so you actually genuinely do have to.
But who said that players shouldn't dive though? Because I've seen strikers,
English
No, but I've seen English strikers like Ian Wright say when you go down sometimes that you should do it. But then when Jota did it,
now he said it now. But after back in the days,
no, Ian Wright the other day when Jota did it, Ian Wright was cussing Jota.
No, that one I felt like you're through on goal. Like I think he could have taken a shot.
Yeah,
fair enough.
That's different.
Okay, yeah. So then I know for sure that Ian Wright has definitely said when you feel contact in the box, you should go down.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But I think there's the only time I think people really speak out about it is when there's no contact.
Yeah.
And then like the person tries to leave their foot out and then they try to initiate contact with the defender.
like what Vardy used to do all the time.
All the time, bro. Like James Madison started doing it a couple
Kane
of times
does.
as
Kane
well.
does.
Harry Kane does it as well.
Yeah.
But when they do it, they don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, smart.
So they call it intelligent, but no, that's diving.
The thing with VAR though, man, if we got VAR, they got to be calling that as a foul though. They have to.
Yeah.
But if the ref didn't call it and the ref was looking right at it, why should?
Well,
Because remember the VAR is just more referees.
But even with gun,
I think a referee probably sees it and says, "Oh, he's a tough boy. Look, he's staying on his feet. Just play on." But
that's the reality of it. Because we played games like that, and then the referee's like, "Get on with
He
it."
didn't get the ball though.
but
So if we're talking about football,
But with that, Dre, how far back do you go to rule out a goal? Because that thing happened, and wasn't it a series of
No, so it happened. Kick. McAllister goes down, goes to another player, gets sprayed out.
Yeah.
Elliot,
And then he
Elliot
whips
puts the
it.
ball in.
Yeah.
So I think it's still the same phase.
Yeah,
It's still the same phase.
was there any
Yeah.
conversation about the keeper looked like he got fouled as well, slightly? No.
We keep it.
yeah, I know what you mean.
By Nunes. So basically, the keeper was.
when he kicked it,
he
yeah.
was playing that from the back, and then Nunes ran behind him and then pushed him in the back. I thought.
Yeah, I don't think it was. I forgot.
God, there's a lot going on. I didn't even see that.
That's because I saw Drayman's message where he said that he didn't think the second goal was should have counted, and I
thought it was the Nunes stuff.
I just thought it was a
That's
Nunes
what I
thing. When I saw Nunes, I was like, okay, right, fair enough. I was like, ooh. Yeah, so that's a foul. But then when I saw the McAllister one, I was like, nah.
They're taking a piss.
They're taking liberties, bro.
And on top of that, they gave Company a yellow card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he said he didn't. All he did was like this. He just remonstrated.
Yeah, but we've talked about that before, haven't we?
No, he didn't make any noise.
No, he just dissent though.
I
don't know if that is.
It wasn't even
I know
dissent.
like punching aggressively, but if what you're doing, I don't know if
just done this.
I think he was talking to the fourth official a lot though as well.
And then I think he said because Klopp got booked already, so I think the referee probably wanted to balance things out. So now he's going to miss the next.
Not necessarily,
Yeah,
but and that pissed me off by the way. But that he's going to miss the Arsenal game, yeah. But I think he said something to the. It's what he said.
He said he didn't say anything, and even Klopp was like, I don't know why he got booked.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, it's just a bit of injustice. It's a bit out of order as well because for me, if they're not given that as a foul, then there needs to be like a ruling behind it as to why that's not a foul. Like a player's kicked out at a player, he's missed the ball. So what is your justification for not giving a foul?
Yeah,
even though you're saying that the ball's gone and then he's fouled.
Remember, Della.
Or the question is what is the condition for your intervention? Because the fact of the matter is that it was a foul, and they probably did look at it, but they probably didn't deem it enough to be all right. We've got to pull that back. So what's the threshold for them actually looking?
Yeah, I think as Della said before, not all contact is a foul. That contact looked like a foul.
From a previous episode, you mean? Okay.
Yeah. So that contact looked foul only because of like the velocity of the kick. It was like a proper kick.
Yeah.
But again, you might say that's a proper kick. And if I look at you and you're fine and you're ready to carry on with the game and it's not stopped you from doing anything, I don't know if it's by the black and white.
But my thing is, imagine that happens in a penalty area and it was the opposite way. And
again, but then
they're given a penalty.
But an attacker would have known to dive.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like, so it's you have to tell the ref that I've been fouled.
Imagine
sometimes.
they don't dive. Are they given that or not?
No, I don't think they were even given.
But probably why the VAR probably didn't intervene is because it has to be clear and obvious. And my thing is, if a referee's looking at like maybe a couple of meters away
close,
and he sees it, as a VAR, I can't say to me, obviously, it's all subjective. As the VR person, I can't say, yeah, to me it was a foul, but you saw it. So,
do you know what's crazy? They probably looked at it because obviously McAllister was trying to make a meal of it.
Yeah,
Because I think what happened is McAllister knew he fouled, because this is what football is.
Yeah.
He knew he fouled him. So he feigned an injury to make it look like he was
that was crazy.
So what the officiating probably done, they probably looked at it for a McAllister foul on McAllister and was like, oh no, but it's
no, but why would they look for a McAllister foul?
Because he was the one that faking the injury.
No, but I'm saying it's Liverpool's advantage. So why would they go back and look at a Liverpool foul?
It was a free kick on the edge of the box.
No, but I'm saying, why would they go back to stop a Liverpool goal for a Liverpool advantage?
No. Obviously they scored, so it's void. But what I'm saying is they probably looked at it.
You might be right actually, because they were just for a lot. When I saw what they were just checking offside for Diaz. So you might even be right.
I'm saying
fair.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know, man. To be honest, you never know what you're going to get these days.
But listen, it's the I was going to say swear, but it's the pendulum, man. It's the scales of justice. Of the gods. We saw what happened with Spurs.
Yeah,
it's our get back, isn't it?
Nah, you've had your get back already, bro.
What do you mean, bro? You lost 3 points. This didn't give us 3 points. We've got at least another game, another 2 or 3 games.
Give you 3 points.
No, bro, we would have won 2-1.
No, that was your second goal. So 1-1.
Exactly.
But I'm saying we would have won 2-1, bro.
How do you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Because we won 3-1. You're surmising.
It's game state. So who knows?
No, I hear that though.
Anyway, hold tight Darwin again, innit?
I was going to get there.
Hold tight him, because I know there's people that listen that think he's not a bad man. Darwin's a bad man.
Hey, you guys know my stance on Nunes, man. Is welcome to the show, man. You get your popcorn, sit down, watch this guy have the worst and best game of his life at the same time. How do you do that? I don't know, but he does it every single game, man. He played well that game, man.
Do you know? When I was watching him, I watched the highlights before I came here. Chicharito, Jammy Dodger. Jammy Dodger.
I thought that was a good header.
That's what I'm saying.
No, but
it was a good header, but it's very Chicharito-ish. And Chicharito was
Chicharito was sick in the air though. I don't think he's jammy. He was sick in the air.
He did a backheader, didn't he?
The backheader.
That was
bro. He was efficient.
For me, his best technical attribute was his heading.
Chicharito.
Yeah. I didn't think he was that great with his feet. If you put a good ball into his head, he's gonna put it back in there.
Yeah, it was good in there.
Like 7 to 8 times out of 10. So that's a compliment. But I think you've called him Chicharito before in other respects.
I've called Nunes.
Yeah, and I don't think.
Okay. It was Chicharito, and I'm standing by.
That's disrespectful.
I'm standing by it.
Yeah. Cool. Anything else you want to say about Liverpool before we move on?
No, nothing much to say, man.
No?
Routine win.
You should, it's Burnley, man. Come on, you could for me, if you even draw in that game, you can't be.
But they've lost or no, they've drawn to Luton. Like these things can happen.
No, but that's different though.
And this guy's speaking as if United haven't lost.
No, it's different because with the Luton one, we've seen they're a good team, but nobody's seen any really redeeming qualities in Burnley for them to be nicking points off of. Because Luton could have got taken Arsenal to the wire. I think how did they get on against City? I think they had a good game, but then they ended up losing 2-1, I think it was. So but with Burnley, I expect everybody's team in this room and all 6 of your team
exactly
to go there and beat Burnley, bro, home and away.
I agree.
Yeah.
How many cases do we need to have before we can build a case on when players change their hairstyle, they improve their form?
Example who?
We're going to move on to Arsenal. Saka.
Who else?
Trent.
Oh, he lost his lock.
He lost his locks, and now he's since.
And then who else?
Wait, hang on. What's going on? Because he was balling out with his locks.
No, last season, but he had locks last season. That's when you put it.
Where he had locks before that as well.
But he was doing that dusty for a minute.
No. Bro, he only had one bad season. All right. Before that, the season before that, he was playing sick. Remember when we got to the finals?
He has baby locks, but when he got
it's too heavy for his head.
He changed his hairstyle, isn't it?
No, but hair growing is not changing your hairstyle. Oh
God,
it is.
What?
So
if my hair grows,
you having locks does not change your hairstyle.
No, I'm just saying because you said the season before he had baby locks.
Okay, yeah.
The next season his hair grew a bit longer, and now you're saying he had the shit hairstyle.
But that's the same as having like a low fade and growing an afro, or not afro, but it's a different hairstyle. It's different.
It is
definitely a different hairstyle.
Okay, fair enough. Right.
But who else has changed their hair and done well?
Well, Rashford has got his hair.
No,
but his form has been trash.
Yeah.
What I'm going to say, his form is trash as to why when he cuts his hair,
He might change.
back to all black,
Okay,
high
we'll
fade,
see.
nice
you
skin
think
fade.
colours and
So we
pattern.
think. So wait, okay.
His form should improve.
Okay. And who else so far?
All right, David Beckham.
That's what I'm
David Beckham changes his hair every week, bro.
Listen, as I said, how many cases do I need?
Oh, okay, yeah, you did say that. You did.
And let's quickly just touch on the Spurs Brighton game. So that was 2-1 Spurs. Very much end-to-end game. I think whoever lost that game would have been disappointed, but unfortunately Brighton lost that game. Anybody watch the game? Oh no, yes, you did. You guys did watch the game.
Yeah, we did.
So Brighton went up 1-0, and Richarlison equalised. And then the winner was scored by Brandon Johnson, assisted by Son.
Son, yeah.
And then off the before we started the pod, we're having a conversation about Son being world class. So now we're on the airwaves, guys. I'll bring the floor to you guys.
Yeah. No, I was going to say, because I was thinking about it, I was thinking, like, Son's world class in terms of there's not many people that can pinpoint a ball in the last minute and make your team score. And it's not just that. We've also seen him in other games, hands down, be like the pinnacle point, like the focal point in Tottenham's attack, in terms of they pick him out and he scores, and they're not easy chances. Like, they're hard chances, and he's putting this away. And before that, everyone was like, when Kane left, they're like, oh, they're gonna have Son, but Son's all right. Like, he will get a few goals, but he steps up to the plate, and I feel like that pass in the last minute, and then they scored from it. I thought if it was someone like Werner, they weren't scoring that.
But Vernon, that's like I said, if it was
that was the position he'd be in, though.
That's what I said. If it was your wifey there as well, then but
that's what I'm saying, brother. If it was Werner, because that is the position he's been playing in Tottenham at the moment, I don't think it would have been a 2-1.
So yeah, after pod, there was a lot of discourse. Now everyone seems to be quiet.
Oh no. I'm just waiting for people to.
I'm sorry. Let me talk. Let me just set the scene. So the discussion we're having is whether Dre mentioned obviously Son's world class, and we're just trying to define what world class was and what was above world class. So Marley go.
All right. So how I define world class is, how do you compare against your peers internationally? And obviously we know Son's obviously the star player for South Korea.
Yeah.
He is also one of the top wide forwards in the world, I would say. So for me, just on Son, just to answer your question, I think Son is world class, but I also think Vinicius is world class. I think Bellingham is world class. Man United, let me see who would I consider world class currently.
Fernandes.
Yeah, Fernandes, because he does ball out for Portugal, to be fair.
Yeah, but that's so.
I'm just asking.
So we talked about with sound. We talked about Messi and Ronaldo being in their own level,
elite. Yeah.
Then you so
no.
Are they in their own level? Or are they elite?
You know what I'm saying?
They're not elite.
Are they in their own level?
Yeah, their own level. Elite? Own level.
That's crazy, bro. To even look at the question.
Yeah. They are in their own level.
So what were you saying, Joe? They're not elite. They're in their own class.
Yeah.
Let's say gods.
Okay, so who's elite? So
that's what I need to know.
Gods.
Who's elite?
Who's elite? Oh, someone like Mo Salah. Mo Salah is elite.
Okay, give me 3 elite players and give me 3 world class players.
Mo Salah's elite. I've enjoyed
KDB.
Vinicius. KDB is elite, obviously. Could Vinicius get into there? I wouldn't argue if Vinicius was in there. Jude Bellingham, I don't think he's got enough of a catalogue.
So okay, can we
to go in there?
He might be world class.
I think Jude Bellingham is 100% world class.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's elite yet.
Yeah, nah.
Yeah,
and my inkling is that he is, but I just think there's a minimum qualification.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm not mad at that. Give me two more. No, two more world class.
2 more world class.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a lot happening here.
No, because you said 3 elite, right?
Yeah, but you only gave 2 elite.
No, I gave Salah, KDB,
and who else?
It's just like off the dome.
Yeah.
Man.
So on the table,
you guys help me out.
I don't agree with you both.
Oh no, okay, wait. But what do you disagree with then? My structuring or the players?
Yeah, because I think there's elite, Ronaldo, Messi,
You can't say anybody else. That's crazy.
Yeah,
You say
exactly.
anybody after Ronaldo and Messi, bro.
Yeah, 'cause they're not on that level.
Yeah.
No. Because now they're not.
But we're not talking about now, though, bro. We're talking about at their peaks.
But we are though. We're not talking about form.
No, we're talking about at their peaks.
Yeah, it's true.
it's interesting.
The
Well,
thing
then
is,
if it's at their peak, then we got what Pele, Ronaldinho.
Yeah, but you can put them wherever you want. But I don't know that much about them for me to put them in a category.
Do it now makes more sense.
I think let's say that because we can't talk about Ronaldo and Messi being
No, because I'm saying these people that you're talking about, they're never going to reach the highs.
Oh, I agree. I agree.
So it
That's
doesn't
how
matter.
they're in a different
it's
category.
Like, for example, like some of these guys are never going to be Ronaldinho.
Okay, no,
I know that for a fact.
So are you saying right now there's no elite players?
No, there's nobody who's ever going to hit the highs that Messi did in.
No, forget that. Let's say if we're looking at football over the last couple of months, or let's say over the last year.
There's nobody in the God category. I put
the
so
God
forget
category,
so
I
nobody
agree.
in there.
So in terms of would you say it's elite, world class, and then good, or is it just world class?
Sorry, elite. God, elite, world class, professional.
So who's got
semi-pro,
Joey,
amateur.
Joey,
There's holes
you
in this.
changed
There's
apparently
I'm
before.
professional.
Who's a god?
Huh?
Who's a god?
No one right
Messi's
now.
probably the god.
Okay, so there's one god, one person.
Yeah, there's and then there's angels there or whatever. Bro.
Okay, so
Like,
one god.
but these men are spiritual beings.
Okay, and then elite would be who?
No, not God. God.
Elite would be who?
What do you mean?
You said there's a god, there's elite, and there's going to be world class.
Salah and these guys, isn't it? So they're never going to.
World class. No, Salah's elite.
So basically,
KDB.
before okay, let me get a bit esoterical. Basically, before Ronaldo and Messi existed, there was no God category in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then these guys did their exploits, and then they ascended from elite.
So we're now back to normal. You're saying?
Now back to normal.
Okay,
bro.
so then
until we get the next.
He needs to flesh this out.
Go on, I'm here for it, bro.
We're going to kill him in real time, guys.
Get me, bro.
Okay, so world class, bruv. You gave me one that I'm okay with.
What are you trying to catch me out on that? The fact that I've not done my list.
I've just asked you one question. You haven't given me any names.
You said world class. I gave you a
world class.
list.
You gave me one.
I think there's too many categories.
Exactly, my point.
There's too many categories, in my opinion.
Answer my question, bro.
Really?
Don't get distracted.
Okay, sorry. Go.
Don't get distracted. All right. World class one, Bellingham. That says you. Go on. Who else?
Ruben Diaz is world class.
Ruben Diaz.
Or
the centre back.
Yeah, Ruben Diaz is world class.
Rodri. So his son world class.
I think Son is world class on elite as well. I wouldn't argue with that. I
wouldn't put him anywhere near elite.
No, I've said he could be. I wouldn't argue with you if you put him in there, but I wouldn't personally put him. I think he's world class.
World class is
done
fair.
enough to be on Salah's level, in my opinion, or in my opinion.
Yeah, okay.
Like Salah consistently doing, like even Bukayo Saka is probably world class going on to elite, in my opinion, on his trajectory. But he's not got enough of a body of work.
Personally, I think these things get brandished to. These titles get branded too.
There's too many categories, bro.
Because for me, world class is.
It's the same categories, but the only thing is that I've just put Messi and Ronaldo above. It's the same exact thing.
So Martin Odegaard, where would you put him?
Again, I've not seen enough of a body of work in terms of like on
world class.
Based on his categories,
everyone's world class.
He's going to world class for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I was going to say.
But my thing is that I've not thought about the players in the positions. I'm just telling you what Ronaldo and Messi have done to what was was the original structure.
Hang on, Strives, go ahead and speak.
No.
Hey, Strives.
He's been jabbing it, so I'm giving him the floor to
Yeah, no, it was just because a couple of weeks ago when this conversation's come up, like not dedicated like segment like this, like some of these players weren't put in a world class category. Like I feel like Joey's saying, like being cornered into saying Odegaard and Saka is world class, where a couple of weeks ago those wasn't your observations.
Wait, sorry.
So all of a sudden, to shoehorn whoever you're trying to shoehorn in, you're creating different categories.
What did I say? I've not thought about it. All I'm telling you is the categories and why the categories exist because of Messi and Ronaldo. That's all I'm saying. You lot can, even if I take off the God category, it's still going to be the same structure
Let's revisit this once everyone's had a time to do list. Because I think I can do a list based on what his categories are.
But you know what's crazy? My list is going to be exactly the same as yours. It's just
I don't think it will.
Now, hang on, let me tell you, it's just going to have Ronaldo and Messi above everybody you put in elite. That's going to be the only difference.
I don't put Ronaldo because I do my list is always based on at least the minimum the last 2 seasons, and Ronaldo wouldn't be anywhere near.
Yeah,
but you can't do that. You can't do that though.
Why not?
Why not?
because
he's a player.
if you look at the pinnacle of these people's careers, what they've done is they've reached this certain level.
Pinnacle.
Now they've dropped down, bro. That's because of the age, bro.
They're still playing, bro.
No, you're not getting it.
Exactly, you're not understanding what Dre's saying.
When they're at the top, bro, there was no one else near them.
They smashed every record.
But now it's like good old days. It was a good old days.
No. But I'm saying they've changed the structure. Forever is my point.
Would Neymar be in the same category as them two?
No,
I don't think so.
No.
So at the pinnacle of his playing career, what have you?
He never reached any height above Messi or Ronaldo. What's going on here?
What do you mean never reached above?
His
capability.
In his career, he's never been above the highest point of Ronaldo's career.
He's
never been above the highest point of Messi's career.
So what are the deliverables in this? What's the metrics? Like, how are you measuring this?
But I mean, I can sit down and flesh this out. But it's gonna be accolades. It's gonna be records broken.
Yeah, but then
hang on, because he played in La Liga. He didn't have the same impact as Messi on La Liga. He didn't have the same impact as Ronaldo on La Liga.
So my argument with that is how do you measure this impact, so to speak? Because he's winning. He's in the same team as somebody.
Yeah, but he's in the same team. But he's
winning, bro.
So it's like, how do you measure the impact of Saka and Odegaard, bro? It can be measured, bro. But this is not what the conversation is about. It's about the structure.
The conversation started off with is Son world class. And I don't know how many accolades. I don't even know how many accolades this guy's got.
Question after that, he asked a different question.
No. It's all from the same thing as that. So
I wouldn't have put Son world class. I wanted to gauge where basically how we categorize players. That's what I wanted to get at.
Yeah, it depends on. It depends. Again, it's determined by categories. But if we have an elite category, you say, I don't think Son gets into the world class. Into the elite category. Yeah. But I think. Sorry, let me rephrase that. If we have an elite category, I think Son is world class. But if we don't have an elite category when it's just world class and then good, I don't think Son gets
maybe
into.
Not good, but obviously, that's the
but below world class, Son wouldn't get into that.
Yeah.
So what is a world class player though to you?
Yeah, because what's the semantics here?
Because for me, like, why is Son world class?
Why not just
he's a very good player. Yeah. He's a very good player, but what makes him world class? Is he a clutch player?
I think he's one of the best wide forwards in the world. And for me,
but why?
He doesn't take on players.
He's just in the Asian Cup right now, and he's home early.
That's not his fault though.
Yeah, exactly. He's a top player. He's a world class player.
He's not 10 players though, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
He doesn't have to be 10 players. They've got a good team, and
best in Asia.
Yeah, probably exactly. Like, they're up there. So in their environment and in the pool of teams that they're competing against, he should be a clutch player to be able to take his team to at least the semi-finals, to the finals. Shouldn't be home early to play Brighton.
I'm not sure
against Tottenham.
I'm not sure.
Well, because he got an assist in the last minute of a Tottenham game. You're saying,
I wasn't just saying that, bro. I was saying in terms of
what makes this guy world class.
Particularly with Son, as to why I would say he's world class, is because for a long time he was in the same team as Harry Kane.
This is
my personal opinion of him when he was in that team and playing fit is that he was actually contributing more than Kane, and I deem Kane world class. So just by that metric alone, it might not be the right way to measure things, but I think if I'm saying Harry Kane is world class for this, I have to say Son is world class as well.
And I would usually have no issue with that, but this is where I become annoyed with the goalpost moving, because then you can put a couple other players in that same vein, and people
100%
categorically say,
if you've got examples,
Saka, we've spoken about Saka. People say he's not world class. I've agreed with it because
I think Saka's a world class.
Martin Odegaard. People would say the same thing. Like personally, I think Martin Odegaard is showing examples of and showing the qualities of a world class player. But
I don't have any pushback.
A lot of people would have put him in there. I even would have said he's not done enough yet to be world class. You know what I'm saying?
All I think, so I agree with you there, and I think there's a minimum requirement to get into certain stages. I think because of the age, maybe that's why Saka and Odegaard, people will be hesitant.
But how does Vinny though?
Hang on. People will be, and what they've achieved at this age in terms of accolades as well.
That's true.
That's important because you mentioned Son and the Asian Cup and all that kind of stuff. So I think what they've achieved, accolades, and how long their body of work is. Some people think that Zidane is one of the greatest managers because in a short period of time that he managed, he won the greatest club accolade.
Yeah, because
but some people disagree with that.
Yeah, obviously the conversations of it's got so much subjectivity to it. Because I'll ask you guys: is Raheem Sterling world class?
At his peak, yes.
At time,
yeah. So he'd be in there.
But right now on form,
but that's how you because if you're looking at the last 2 years,
then he can't be.
Yeah, he can't
exactly.
be.
But then, Ronaldo and Messi
Exactly,
over the
that's what
last
I'm
2
saying.
years.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't. Based on, I feel like my observation is pretty consistent in terms of like how I'm deeming it. First of all, I do it on form. I don't really particularly care about accolades in terms of when I'm doing my summary. My summary is literally based on, all right, amongst your peers in the same position, where do you sit? Are you near the top? If you're near the top, like you have to, you're world class, surely, bro. You're the best in your position,
But
in the world.
Isn't that pointless though? Because obviously we know that form is whatever it is, innit? And then you can get.
I don't think it meant form. I think it meant like he performed.
No, because you said it,
over the last like 2 years.
But if you say over the last 2 years, let's say for example, we can look at Quaresma at his peak, and let's say Quaresma is still playing football right now for.
No, but
I'm
just saying, hang on. I'm saying,
you know what I mean, and he's trying to be difficult.
No. I'm giving you an extreme example, but there are players like, for example, Cristiano Ronaldo, who is still playing. I'm not comparing Ronaldo at Man United or
but
Ronaldo
the thing is,
at
someone like
I'm taking Ronaldo at his peak, and I'm saying he's carved a new avenue for himself. So that's why all the stuff that you guys are saying, I'm going to say yes, exactly the same. Only there's a caveat for Ronaldo and Messi. That's all it is. It's the same exact thing, bro.
Let's park it there. I don't think. Okay, quick. Let's go around the table very, very quickly. Strive. Is Son world class?
No.
Joey.
Yeah, I think he is.
This guy makes me.
I said he was world class. I said I think. Wait, no, but I said he's world class and potentially elite. If you said he's elite, I would argue. What's going on here, bro?
I'm gonna say my drop kicks when we start recording, bro. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, personally.
And Joe, I don't need to ask you because you started it off.
What about you, Sam? Or Della, I should say.
I don't think
a better one would have been Madison.
Is Madison world class?
No,
because I don't think he's world class.
No.
But he's really good.
But that's interesting because everyone, we're saying we don't think Madison is world class. But we'll say Odegaard is world class. But people said Madison is better than Odegaard.
Good point.
No, but do you know why though? Because obviously, it's like body of work. What you've achieved, accolades. It's a holistic thing.
But Odegaard hasn't achieved anything.
He hasn't.
No, but he's.
But exactly, the conversation's been had around him a lot more than it's been had around Madison at that point.
Yeah.
If you asked me about Odegaard and Saka, I'd say no. I'm not giving him world class.
They haven't achieved it yet.
Yeah, I need to see it translate.
So what does that?
It's like seeing that potential translate. I need to see them do it consistently, which they're doing. But I need to see that carry whichever team that they're working for into those elite rounds where you're in those conversations. And when you look at those teams, you look at those best teams as
difference
Arsenal.
Makers.
Exactly.
I was going to say Odegaard, okay, I get that, but Saka, I don't know how. What do you mean? When he had one bad game?
No, Saka's doing everything that a world class player should do. Like, but he should be an exception. But I notice a lot of people make exceptions for other players, but they don't do it for Saka.
Vinicius.
Yeah, and like Son, you know what I mean. So I'm just going by what everyone else is. If people was prepared to just accept Saka, I probably would accept Son, but I'm just going to be as harsh as people have been with Bukayo Saka.
I get that.
One more thing as well. I think with Son as well, I think people have seen his journey, like go from where he was in Korea to Hoffenheim and bat up the Bundesliga and then come Tottenham and do a good job at Tottenham as well. So he has got a long body of work where people can judge based off of him.
But he's got a body of work, but he's achieved nothing.
No, so that's what. But remember, I said it's holistic. It's not just about accolades and all that kind of stuff.
I'm saying, me personally, I wouldn't put I wouldn't put my player in a category based on accolades because I accept that you can be in a team that doesn't do much.
100%.
Shearer did all he could, but Newcastle only won, I think, and they didn't even win anything.
But people would, at the time, would have put Shearer as a world-class striker, though.
Yeah. But it doesn't
Shearer won with Blackburn, though, didn't he?
I know, but...
but that's why you got to take everything into account.
But let's have it right. You can be a world-class player and have not won anything.
Harry Kane.
Yeah.
I think there's exceptions to the rule, and Harry Kane would be an exception. I don't think there's that many. I don't think you should allow that many exceptions.
Son's done enough to be an exception.
I don't think he should be allowed to be an exception.
Exceptions should be granted, based on length of time, length of service.
Just if it's extraordinary. Harry Kane's gone to Bayern Munich, there's a good chance they're not going to win anything again, and you're like, bloody hell, what's this guy got to do? But this guy's probably scored like 30 goals already. You know what I mean? And half the season's been done. That's exceptional output. So these things are like, raw, like this is not like normal for someone to have that kind of output. He should be attached to a winning team.
Yeah, I hear you.
You know what I mean? I don't know that you can say the same for Son. Last season, where was he?
Where were Tottenham though? They were in the doldrums, bro.
But Kane was still doing his thing.
Yeah, because where was Tottenham and where was Kane last season? Kane was still Kane. That's to me well class.
Wasn't Son injured most of last season though?
He was.
No, I think
Yeah,
he was
he
injured
did.
for
He
a
had
lot
a
of
big
stretch.
stint.
Most of last season.
No, he was injured for. No,
We'll have to find it, but
he was injured a lot.
Let's move over. That was a good debate about world class and elite levels.
Yeah, get in the comments, man. I want to see what people are saying about this.
So yeah, let's move on to the last and final game that we're going to talk about. Ironically, it's probably the highlight of the weekend, but obviously we're covering it last. So Strauss, we're going to talk about Arsenal.
Okay, smooth.
So,
Don't seem too excited.
yeah. Your Arsenal's last 4 games before they went into the winter break, 2-0 against Brighton, after which De Zerbi said Arsenal probably one of the best teams he's ever played. 1-1 draw with Liverpool at Anfield.
Mm-hmm.
Good result. 2-0 defeat to West Ham. 2-1 defeat to Fulham. Then Arsenal fans had a meltdown after the winter break. 5-0 against Palace. 2-1 towards Forest. 3-1 Liverpool. And yesterday, 6-0 West Ham.
Mm-hmm.
So when yourself and I'm going to call out John Boy were having a bit of a meltdown, did you
define meltdown?
You guys, you more or less like packed it in. You couldn't look at the result in isolation. It's like the whole thing that Arsenal had built had come down. And so for me, that was a bit of a meltdown because it was just a blip. And I think sometimes we can look at things as being as just a blip, considering where you're just coming from. Then it was 2 results. Fair enough, we never knew what was going to happen in the future or so what was going to happen. But at that time, just take it. You should have just taken it to your stride, and and I felt like you guys didn't do that. I think you both were a bit dramatic in your feelings.
I think that's a bit harsh, to be fair, because I'm going to ask you this: do you think Arsenal's going to win the league, Del Estrada?
Do I think so? They got a good chance.
What did you think before the meltdown?
I thought they still had a good chance because even if you recall, I did say this season there's a lot more games to play. It's not going to be a season where one team just runs away with it. There's going to be ups and downs. So Arsenal had their blip.
Yeah.
Man City had their blip at the start. Liverpool will probably have their blip, and that's how it's going to be this season. Yeah,
well, because obviously I'm coming from a position where I thought Arsenal was going to win the league, so mine wasn't a meltdown per se. It was more as a thing of, if you're losing to West Ham and losing to Fulham, despite how good you were playing, despite how dominant you were, we weren't even dominant against Fulham. Fulham actually outplayed us and beat us. But obviously, I think you missed out that we lost to Liverpool as well, which is important.
I was just mainly talking about the league.
Prem, yeah. But obviously, when you're losing like the 3 games on the bounce, and then I think at that time, in 7 games, we hadn't won a game. I know one of them was the PSV game when it was 1-1 and we'd really qualified and whatnot. But it was just building up a habit of kind of not winning. And that fear comes in because especially like before last season, it became like habitual of Arsenal to like business end of the season. After Christmas, we start falling apart, what have you not. So if it starts to happen a little bit earlier than usual, all I was saying is I'm starting to maybe doubt my initial inclinations where I said we're going to win the league. Maybe we're going to finish second. I think it's harsh to say it was a meltdown, but I appreciate your observations all the same, my bro.
But did you expect Arsenal to go the whole season unbeaten?
No, I didn't expect Arsenal to go the whole season unbeaten, but I didn't expect us to be dropping 4 points to the likes of Fulham. I didn't expect us to lose to West Ham at home. You know what I mean? So these are kind of things that it's a culture shock. It's like a shock to your face, especially when the Emirates, we've been so powerful there. Like to lose the way we did, it's a little bit. Yeah, it was a little bit unnerving, especially when you've just picked up a point at Anfield. Yeah,
exactly. I think that's why I tried to paint the picture before I said the meltdown, because you can't go from one manager saying your team's probably the best team he's probably come up against. You then go to Anfield and hold Liverpool to having an extra of -1. Then unfortunately, and then obviously the game against West Ham, Arsenal dominated, but they were fortunate to lose. As you rightly said, against Fulham, they didn't deserve to win, and even Arteta came out and said that's probably the worst game he's seen his team play.
Yeah.
So sometimes I think not just you as a fan, I think fans in general, they just need to take everything into consideration when trying to predict where they think their team may be, because all their performances just meant that it's going to be a blip and they'll bounce back again. And if they're having an extra of 3+, it's only a matter of time that they're going to give a team like West Ham
Yeah, but bro, you know what? You're preaching to the choir, innit? You're preaching to the choir. Like, so I know you're trying to call me out, but I think you got the wrong Arsenal fan on here. You should have got John Boy on there.
I'm not calling you out.
No, I'm just,
Yeah.
you know, because at that time
it was you and John going at it.
Yeah, but if you remember, I'm
misery
going at
did
John
attract
because
misery.
John was trying to come for my guy Martin Odegaard alongside Joey Nomadic. You know, them guys were trying to double team me. I was fighting the good fight.
Also back then, Joey didn't think Odegaard was world class.
No, that's not what happened.
I'm not sure if that's what they thought back then.
Hey, listen, hey, don't bail on me, bro. Just tell it.
But then the only other thing that I was probably having a bit of a moan about was I've always thought that Arsenal's got a team capable of winning the league, which is why I've made that prediction. But if we had a striker, it'd be a no contest.
Yeah.
And I've always called for that. So if I'm now seeing games where you're talking about this XG, which is expected goals, and we're not getting them expected goals because we ain't got a striker, you're probably going to get a Strides outburst every now and again and say, you see, this is why we need a striker.
When you say no contest, what do you mean by that?
Bro, I think we ran away with it, bro. We've got a striker, bro.
Run away with the league, yeah?
Bro, give me one reason.
Why do you think that?
Is
But
that
Arteta doesn't think that. Because if he thought that, he would have gone all out for a striker.
And Arteta, like, he knows he's footy, and I give this guy a lot of credit, and I do wonder, like, bro, why are you not doing this?
What would say if you not got a proper striker, there would be problems.
Genuinely.
You wouldn't run away with it because that's ridiculous to say with Man City.
But you say that with Man City, that's just about to go on to Man City. Everyone talks like Man City can never be caught because they've got that crazy striker, Haaland.
No.
I think that's a good
No, that's
reason
not.
why.
No, it's because
I think
whether they have Haaland or not,
They got a good
they win
squad.
games, bro.
But Arsenal win games whether we've got Haaland
I know,
or
but
not.
you don't win games like Man City.
But we just did it. You
You did it because you didn't win the league, bro.
Do you need Del Estrada to give you the
You
results
don't
again?
win games like Man City, bro.
Do you need?
No, I'm not talking about this season. I'm not talking about this season. I'm not
again?
talking about this season. I'm talking about in general. General.
Consistently.
Because that's how you win the league. So you can't. There's no way you can win games like Man City if you haven't won the league
No,
or beating them to the league.
But what I would say is if you was to get a striker, like a proper one, you would start winning games like that.
What happened when Man City to their goals, the goal scored? What happened to it when they got Haaland in?
When it,
Did it increase it?
I think so.
I don't
I'm
know.
going to speculate.
I don't know, but
Yeah?
I think the season before Haaland came, the goals are split between KDB and
Exactly.
and
So
Gundogan.
so you not getting a striker might just do that as well. If there's no, because I don't know what the goal difference is year on year.
Our goals are already split between our players.
Yeah. So what I'm
think
saying,
if
if you get another a 20+ goal scorer, like Man City did when the goals were shared as well, I don't know the difference between last season and the season before in their goals scored, but I don't know if it was a big difference.
Yeah, I mean,
So
bro,
that's-
you're welcome to obviously contest what I said, but obviously, in my opinion, I think that the striker would set us above the rest. That doesn't necessarily mean that I'm right in that. That's just my inclination. I think if we do get that 20+ a season striker, I feel like in certain games when it isn't going right for us, yeah, exactly, that clutch player, we would get those extra points, and then I think that makes us even more.
Yeah, I think
I
it would translate into points more so than goals scored.
Yeah, that's the most important thing.
Yeah,
Because
Yeah,
even if you look at, obviously, people talking about Arsenal needing a striker. So Liverpool have scored 55 goals, City 56, Arsenal 53, and this is Arsenal without a clinical striker.
Yeah, but remember what I'm saying. It doesn't mean you score more goals. It means I said it's more likely to translate into more points. So your goals could probably stay the same as 53.
Yeah, so games that they drew, they would have probably won. You know, things that, and games that they lost, they'd have probably drawn. So points wise, they'll probably be in a better position. In terms of defensively, I think Arsenal have the best defensive record in the Prem.
Yeah.
So if you put that all together,
What's the difference in the defensive record?
I don't know. I think I know they said Arsenal have the best defensive record.
Yeah.
Arsenal, they're doing the set piece dude that they brought in, bruv.
Yeah. He's doing bits.
Bruv.
Yeah, he's doing bits.
Listen,
Rory Delap.
we scored 16 goals from set pieces. That's the most in the league. Like,
That's crazy, bro.
It's mad. We've got a throw-in.
Has Declan always been on set pieces?
No.
Bruv.
Wait, what do you mean? Wait.
No,
Bruv, he was whipping some. Bruv, have you seen the with the cats?
No, you know that
in the snow, bruv.
Coutinho.
Bruv, he was whipping it like, hey.
No, remember that goal against Man United? Who put the ball into the box?
Nicholas Jova.
Probably
Jova. That's the guy.
Was that the guy?
Yeah, he's a set piece
I think
specialist.
since the winter break, that's when Declan.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because I noticed it in the Palace game when he was taking. Remember when I was talking about the corners.
Because he's a goal scoring threat as well, though. So, and he scored a couple goals from set pieces.
Yeah,
as well,
the whip that was he was
even the whip on that shot, bro, man.
The shot was
fifth goal.
But are you not clocking that though? Like to get 16 goals from set pieces,
it's madness,
to your game. That's
it's madness, bro.
That's equaling points.
That's why I say with Arteta, why I do rate him. He does identify the fine margins of where he can, get that little edge. And I feel like adding a set piece, because it's obviously not rocket science, but everyone don't do it. Like, you're not.
Sorry,
we've even got a throwing coach, bruv.
Bruv, it's madness, bro.
Man City have like a set piece coach, no?
Yeah,
because I thought they would do, but it's just that
the guy that's at Arsenal, he came from Man City.
So that's what I'm saying. Like teams do have these guys. Like Liverpool had a throwing coach, and everyone was laughing at Liverpool at the time. But it's only when it's delivering that people start.
Yeah. Well,
because you probably had a set piece coach before, but he just wasn't as good as this guy, or maybe it didn't click.
Yeah, for sure. Well, credit to identifying the right guy for the job, because boy, he's doing the madness, man.
Yeah.
So let's actually talk about the game. Firstly, let me ask you an honest question. I know you probably say you expected to win, but did you expect to win?
I didn't. I think, you know what? Listen, be man. Now, sometimes he gets into my mind too much, man. He's just sowing those seeds of doubt. I actually thought that we potentially were going to lose this game, man. Yeah. And I understood where, some fans like him were coming from, because of obviously the results that we've had against your Fulhams, against your West Hams in the past, and how tricky it is to always play against the likes of Nottingham Forest, like even when we win. So, and then it's unusual. Like we're not used to just having consistent highs. Like you've come off a high of smacking up Crystal Palace 5-0, smacking up Liverpool 3-1. The come down was going to happen, innit? That's what we thought. So yeah, like to go away to West Ham and then win 6-0, I did not expect that. I'll be honest with you, bro. I didn't expect that, but where was I? Over the moon, man. So,
but in terms of the actual game, did you notice anything different in terms of the way Arsenal approached the game?
What I did notice, I can't go into it in depth, but what I did notice, I feel like we're interchanging like our cam and this false 9 position. Like we've got Trossard. Because when you I remember one of my pals, another Arsenal fan as well. I know he listens to the podcast. Big up Daryl Bugsy. He was like moaning about the lineup, the starting lineup, and I said, you know what, bro? Like
for this game,
for this game, I said, you know what, bro? I'm not bothered by this lineup. He was he weren't too keen to see Havertz in there.
Everyone,
But you know what? I said to him, like, I know, like, obviously I gave Havertz a hard time in the beginning, but he's kind of proven himself to me now. Like, he's done what he needs to do. He's given us he's given us goal contributions, but outside of that, more than that though, like what he's actually given our gameplay is, some people might not value it high, but it's actually quite invaluable. Like we're actually able to interchange him, Trossard and Odegaard. Like who's our 10? Who's the false 9? They're changing that much. It's becoming mad. It's like playing with 3-10.
What was he in that game? Was he as a striker?
But this that question you're even asking, what was he in that game?
Yeah.
But he's playing a hybrid position. Sometimes he's playing the 8, then he's going into the 10. It's becoming very difficult to mark and what have you not. So when you're trying to overload and do all that madness, what you're doing to our wingers, your Martinellis and your Sakas, it's like Arteta's thought of a different way to confuse you, and now you've got so much going on in the in the middle central areas. Like it's becoming difficult to compete against. It's kind of similar to the conversation Joey and Della were having last episode when they was talking about the VVD it's up for the goal, and these are these slight little tweaks that Arteta's doing, that he's doing it and implementing them as the season's going on, to the point I'm actually sitting back thinking, you know what, well, I might need to give this Arteta guy a break, man.
Like in terms of the tweaks, bruv, I think he has to do that though, because I think he knows himself. For me, Havertz, he's just not a goal. He's not a goal scorer, bro.
I think that
this is my only gripe though, because you're like, for me, Arsenal, like from when I've seen him, you guys are playing him up front or nearly as a striker. And for me, if you're playing him there, then he needs to come up with the goods as well. But the thing is, I know what Strives is saying. Okay, he's changed it now. He's becoming more of a, how can I say it? It's almost not a free role, but he's moving into positions that you wouldn't expect him to. You know, if he's being put up front, you just expect him to be in one certain position, right?
Yeah, and I think it's how people perceive and look at football, because and even Havertz said it himself. Unless you look at the scores, the results of a game, and you see I've got an assist or goal, you just assume I've played bad. But when you actually watch football, you just see sometimes how people move around and how they create space for other people. And obviously I mentioned last week he played in like a dual role in terms of playing like a false nine and also coming in and playing maybe as an 8. Then yesterday they played like 2 false nines.
Yeah.
And then you've got Trossard playing as a number 10 and also like a number 9. So as a false 9. And even the penalty that Arsenal got, Trossard, if you watch it again, Trossard was like the deepest player. And he pinged that ball over to Saka, then Saka got the penalty. So all these things, and that's the point I was making last week with Joey, it's easy to just say, our defenders were a bit, our defenders weren't good enough. The same way people say, West Ham, they weren't good enough. But if you now analyse how Arsenal played, how were West Ham able to navigate with all these players literally moving around when you're...
No, they couldn't handle it.
Exactly. So
they couldn't handle it.
So exactly. So and people may say, Havertz didn't score and he didn't assist. But if you watch it and how we create space for other people and everything else...
Wait, what were you trying to say, that Arsenal aren't, like the way they play is unstoppable?
No, I'm not saying that.
He's looking that way, bro.
No.
He ain't saying that, but I'm saying it.
Okay.
It's looking that way.
That's what I'm saying. But one of the things that Arteta said he wanted to do was to be unpredictable.
Yeah. So he's done that.
After playing against Liverpool and the way they played completely different against West Ham.
Well, when you say completely different, though, did they not just play to what was required at the time, though? Like, because it was the same movement off the ball.
No, it wasn't the same move because last time they played 2 10s in Odegaard and Havertz, and then Havertz was sold.
But I don't think Havertz played as a 10 in the last game. I think he was just in his normal position, which is kind of like false 9 /
But he must have been deep enough for him to have started that play that led to Liverpool's goal.
But that's because Havertz is a battler.
No, but he didn't battle there though. He just literally came deep.
No, because remember it started off with, we had possession and it was a set piece.
What goal are you talking about?
The first goal.
Arsenal's first goal.
Yeah. So he was.
Arsenal had the ball.
No, it started off in it started off in you lot's half.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm saying, so Odegaard, Havertz came that deep. So he was meant to be playing as a 9, right?
Okay, yeah.
So that's saying, so he's playing dual roles.
And, yeah. Okay, fair.
People can say things about certain players, but you need to give credit to like football intelligence.
100%.
I don't want to say football intelligence so listeners be like, wow, why did he say that? But maybe let's say football in IQ.
No, 100%. But at the same time, football in IQ is also your ability to see these things, spot these patterns, and do better. So I think you can also call out defenders, and you can also applaud Arsenal's brilliant advancing play, man, because it was brilliant, man.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Like if you're expecting your defenders to be able to read that, but obviously that just supports the case that we've been building against VVD and Kanate.
Who I expected to read all of those things, but not necessarily Kanate, because he didn't do anything wrong in my opinion, other than nearly killed 2 players. Get cheated by Havertz.
And one last thing, did you notice anything different in your defensive structure?
In the defensive structure, other than Kyrgios play, like, no, not really. Like, well, are you going to show me something?
Well, you didn't know Ben White playing inverted?
No, I didn't, but you know what? In my defense, I wasn't watching the game properly. Like, I was so like, I was in and out. Like, there was a lot happening for me kind of thing. So I was outdoors, and then I'd watch some of it indoors. There was just a lot going on.
Did you already have your Nigeria kit on?
Yeah. No.
You was on a high after that and going into that, man.
What, you're Nigerian?
Yeah, no,
that's crazy. Bro.
We're gonna get to that. Like, because that was a sour one.
Yeah, that was wild, man.
But yeah, obviously, before we wrap up, you got to give some honourable shout out.
Ben White was doing inverted, yeah.
That's why Kyrgios wasn't just focusing on the defensive side of things. So Ben White was doing inverted, and so again, this comes into part of the unpredictability that I'm assuming Arteta wants his team to have. But yeah, obviously,
and this is a guy that people are saying isn't good football, isn't a good footballer, and so people are saying this, like,
about Ben White.
Yeah,
Ben White's I've had him in high regard since
probably Tottenham fans.
Is it?
Yeah, guys that don't know football.
Oh, why are you listening to Tottenham fans, though, bro?
I don't, man. But
you listen to Millwall fans as well, but what's going on there? I'll tell you, bro.
But yeah, let me say honourable shout out, obviously. What's his name? Declan Rice.
The game.
2 assists, 1 goal. Saka for scoring his 51st goals. So that means he's now got 100 goal contributions at the age of 22. So 51 goals, 49 assists. Shout out to Gabriel for scoring his 14th goal. That's for you, Miles.
He's been playing well.
I think he scored the most since 2020 as a centre back.
The most centre back. And then I think there was another stat for
top 2 CBs in the league, man. I love when my takes start to mature. Like they just age well. I love when this happens, man.
This is what happens when you get a set piece coach.
Okay, so Odegaard is the first player to create 50 plus chances from open play in Europe this season. And then he's the first player on record since 2023/4 to complete 107 passes.
Come on.
Create 7 chances.
Bring that shit, baby.
Have 2 goal assists.
Come on.
And yeah, that was it.
Anyone would think Della supports Arsenal.
Yeah, have you got any of them stats for Darwin Núñez? Or maybe a Diogo Jota? Maybe you got a Diogo Jota up your sleeve somewhere for me?
What these players are achieving, their individual accolades.
I'm sure there's 1 or 2 players on the Liverpool team or Man United team that have achieved.
I gave Haaland stats.
I'm saying, have you got any for Liverpool, bro? Exhibit. Okay.
But yeah, let's move away from Arsenal, the Premiership. It doesn't have to be long, guys.
Yeah, I ain't got a lot to give you on this one.
It's for these 2 Nigerians here.
Hey, yo.
So let's just...
Dre, you're Nigerian.
Yeah, bro.
So yeah, you 2 Nigerians. I think you both decided to meet up at OSR. Where
were you, man? Where were you, man?
I'm in my house.
Why did you come to rep the nation?
Because I'm in my house.
Because he knew.
Yeah, so what did you guys think of the performance? Obviously, the result was not what we wanted, but what did you think of it? Was it did Ivory Coast do enough to win the game? Essentially,
yes.
Yeah.
Emphatically, bro.
But do you think Nigeria played any different to how they played in the previous games?
No.
I think they did, Joey, just a little bit. You know what? Because I was looking at it back here. Because remember, I missed the first 20 minutes. So I had to watch that back a bit, and then I was like, bro, like we beat Ivory Coast quite comfortably, in the group stages. We even had a goal disallowed. So what I was say is we were boring to watch. Like we were quite defensively minded. Like we looked like a typical Jose Mourinho type team, yeah. But then we'll play with our defense was quite strong, and then we'll kind of play down with our fullbacks, and we'll literally play down the wings. We didn't really play in the middle because we didn't have a midfield. Our midfield was non-existent all tournament. And it did almost make you think like, are we going to cheat and win this African Nations Cup and be without a midfield? Because you've never seen like a team win a trophy without a midfield present. But then yesterday, we tried to like go toe-to-toe with Ivory Coast midfield, and I think that was the wrong.
I think it was the same thing. It was still the same 2 midfielders. Instead of playing like 5, whatever formation they played, it was Iwobi and Onyeka. That's the 2 midfielders that he's playing.
Yeah, but then he bring in Chukwueze.
But that was, where does he play? On the flank, on the wing,
right,
on the right, and then you got your boy, so Lookman on the left. So it was like 5-2-3. I don't know what.
Yeah, but in sacrificing Moses Simons, you kind of negate that, because he's one of them players. He's just one of those get at you wingers. Like he just goes down the byline, cuts in, tries to come in, and that was our strengths really. What have you know? But when you're playing in deep and you haven't got someone like that can help stretch play, you're asking too much of this Osimhen to get. And he.
It felt the world was on his shoulders, man.
And you can't do. You're not going to be able to do much because it's literally him against 5 or 6 players when you're just in deep, having to defend, and there's nothing out there. Like when you get the ball out there's no outlets helping stretch the attacks. I feel like Pesero got it wrong, man. I think his lineup was. Yeah, he got it wrong.
But when you say he only made 1 change there, right?
Yeah, but I think tactically as well. I don't know. It just didn't look this. It just looked a little bit different. Like we just looked toothless, bro. Like there was nothing going on. Even the goal we scored, like we didn't deserve it. It was out. It was against the run of play. Was that Osimhen's first goal in the tournament?
Ashman didn't score yesterday,
wasn't it?
No, true.
Oh,
why? So you went to the bar? You're never watching the game?
Hey.
Well, why do I think it was Osimhen that scored?
No, Osimhen didn't score.
He didn't even score.
Yeah, no, we
You know what he should have done? He should have cut his hair, man.
Did he score all tournament?
Yeah,
Sorry.
he should have cut his hair.
Okay.
He scored quite a few disallowed goals. He actually scored one official goal, I think.
we're rubbish, man. And you brought up again Ivory Coast. Us beating them. That manager got sacked.
Yeah, exactly. After the group stage, innit?
Coming third in it, so we came up against a more adept Ivory Coast in terms of formation or whatever problems were going on in the background.
Bro, they were more hungry for it, man.
No, I just don't. I don't think. Again, as Strav said, we didn't have a midfield. So when you're gonna come up against a serious midfield like Ivory Coast, because they've got some ballers in their team as well.
But that was the same midfield that we played against
with direction. We were playing 7-2-1 formation.
Yeah, that's what he felt like.
That's not my show, still, man. Hold tight, you told. But we were playing a dead formation, negative football, and let's have it right. The players who are our outlet players, pinging it to them, the passes to them was terrible.
We haven't got progressive midfielders.
When the ball was passed to them, they couldn't even bring the ball down, bro. It was a crazy game, man. Like, it was tough watching Iwobi just kind of like drowning in there, to be completely honest, man.
Yeah, man. I think we've got the World Cup qualifiers. We've already drawn 2 of those. I think we need to find some midfielders, man. The modern game requires your midfield to be able to link up with your centre halves, play progressive passes forward, and build up attacks. But we ain't got a midfield, man. And until you address that.
But listen, I don't have a problem with it. I think they tried something new, didn't work. Fair enough. It got them to the final, so I don't even know if you can say whether it worked or not, to be fair. But I think with a bit more tactical fine tuning, we probably could have won that game.
Hopefully, we can win the next one. I swear, Senegal got to the final, lost, and then ended up winning the next AFCON.
No, but Senegal, they won the last one, though.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They won that one after they got to the final, the previous tournament.
Oh, but this was the one that Nigeria was meant to win, because I think they win it every 10 years, and this was the 10th year.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I remember the one 10 years ago.
You should have seen his face, bro. He's disappointed.
That's shit. No, because you know what? I believe in them kind of omens as well. That's part of the reason why I think on the 20th year anniversary, Arsenal's going to win the Prem.
Is it 25th year? This
20th.
Yeah, and that's this year.
Yeah, it's this year.
20th year. Believe in fairy tales, imagine.
That's the 20th year since the Invincibles. Yeah, so obviously when I heard that omen fell, I'm like, oh, shit.
But Super Eagles have done well. Just couldn't get over the finish line. But let's be real, I think they exceeded a lot of people's expectations. But when you get to the final, as me personally, I wasn't too disappointed. I wasn't too angry with the defeat. I was more upset with the manner of defeat, in terms of like Nigeria just didn't show up. They just didn't do anything. It's like they were just sitting back and hoping for the best. And that type of game, that type of football, you need to just take a bit more control of your destiny, and I think they just didn't do enough.
We scored a header, innit?
Yeah, and that was it.
That went Osimhen?
No, that was...
I must have been waved.
That was your Dunny. The one that was like you.
My Calabar man.
Yeah.
Oh, snap. No, I'm dazed, man. All this time I thought it was Osimhen.
Let's wrap it up. Let's do our back pages. Regular listeners, you know what this is. To the new listeners, this is where we shine light on players, managers, teams, or even countries, if you want to mention African Cup of Nations, of who've done well this weekend. So let's do, I'm going to go with you, Strassen, seeing as you're the last one of the seats. I'll give you the opportunity to start first.
Yeah, I'm going to give my back pages to Declan Rice. I think it was a brilliant performance from Deckers against his former team. And especially because West Ham gave him like a really hard time in the 2 games prior. And I felt like he held himself with modesty, upstanding. He didn't celebrate when he could have. He could have rubbed it in. I would have celebrated personally, but I respect that he's a better man than me. And man, just want to give it to Declan Rice, man. He deserves it.
Yeah. Next up, Dre, man.
I think you guys all know I'm going to give it to Jude Bellingham. Nah, I'm not. Even though he did bag a brace. I'm going to give it to Sebastian Haller, who got the winner for Ivory Coast.
Great story, innit?
Yeah, great story, because obviously he had testicular cancer, and then he was back after 7 months, and he scored that goal. So it's quite fitting.
Goal was sick as well.
Yeah, great finish. So yeah, well done to him, and congrats.
Miles.
I'm going to go for Xabi Alonso. Got the win against Bayern Munich on the weekend, comfortably as well, 3-0. Yeah, man, still unbeaten across,
Mad record,
across all competitions. Yeah, man, hold tight to you, man. Come to Man United.
How do you think he would? Sorry to interrupt the segment. Do you think what he's doing in the Bundesliga can translate in the Prem?
Yeah, I think we're the right squad for sure. I would say so.
You wouldn't at Arsenal, innit?
No, because obviously when I've said it before, like that's normally the pushback in it. But I think he could, innit?
Yeah,
Like,
in the right team with the right organisation, with right budget, right backing, I think he can bring that for sure.
I admit, you guys have said like the Bundesliga is a bit more of a Wild Wild West in terms of
defensively, but defensively, for sure. But when you look at how they play, they're very, very dominant with their fullbacks. And I feel like with what we've seen in the Premier League this season, with the inverted fullbacks, the fullbacks having different roles, I think it would translate well. I personally believe anyway.
Because Ange Postecoglou plays a similar kind of football, and he's got Tottenham at least in the top 4 talk. So at a better club, why couldn't he compete?
Good manager.
On that game quickly, Bayern does look, as in the players, I didn't recognise any of their players. Really.
Tuchel's rubbish.
Not even saying Tuchel. I'm just saying in terms of the players, like apart from
they signed Sacha Boey, the left back, because Alphonso, he's from Galatasaray, but Alphonso Davies got injured in it, so they had to get a left back on.
I recognise him from somewhere.
The dreadlock brother. Yeah.
So that team, that Bayern team, they got Dyer as well.
Yeah, he was playing with Kim.
They weren't trying to win. Kim's been good though.
Yeah, Kim is good, but obviously like Dyer, I think Dyer was another injury purchase as well. Yeah.
So I know. Go on, Joe.
Yeah, so actually mine is Tuchel as well, because
your back pages.
Yeah, like for
Tuchel.
It's bad reason.
Back pages is always a good thing.
Oh, is it my mom? Trying to reinvent the wheel. What's going on here?
He didn't have one, did he?
No, mine is Jude Bellingham.
just do it, bro.
No, I'm happy to go with Haller on my back page. I think that's going to sell the most newspapers, to be fair.
But I think Jude has reached, he's reached some kind of height by now. I can't remember the exact stat.
20. He's got
some mad stat to his name already.
Yeah, but sorry, because I think MJ went to Tuchel, and I was going to say him as my back pages, but he's a bad guy, right?
I don't rate him high.
Yeah.
I don't rate him as high as.
I don't think he's trash, but he's not.
That Champions League confused people.
I think it's overrated. Yeah. I'll give my back pages to is it his name Emerson Fair? MS Fair? The Ivory Coast manager. Obviously he replaced the I don't know, was the manager sacked or did he leave?
Sacked.
No, he got sacked.
Oh yeah, he got sacked. And for him to take over Ivory Coast down in the dumps, I still don't know how they've done it, because how many games did they even win?
They literally, I think they won one game. I think they beat Congo. What was it? 1-0. They drew 2 games in 90 minutes, and then beat Nigeria. So
but
I think it was 1-0, 1-1, 1-1, 2-1. That's there.
Yeah, when it's in Ivory Coast, man. Was it Abidjan?
Yeah, exactly. It was meant to be.
Yeah.
So credit to him, and so hopefully this is the start of a wonderful career for him.
Seeing Pepe celebrate with a trophy, like even though he did very minimal to help.
He played a few games.
It made me happy to see it though. I was just like, yeah, man, I'm happy for you, man.
Was that another person that's left and got no?
I don't think that's fair for us.
Sorry. No. It's more. That's more Tottenham related. It's more than anything else.
All right, listeners, thank you. That's it for us for this week. We'll be back again next week. Over and out.